Everybody signed in?
Signing in.
Hey. Okay.
We should have.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Education Instruction Subcommittee final calendar. Madam Clerk, will you take the roll? Members, please sign in. Go to Representative Johnson. We'll wait for you. Go ahead. Madam Clerk, take the roll.
Mr. Chairman, you have 6 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Members, any personal orders before we get started on a very short calendar? On seeing none, members, we have two bills up today. First one is House Bill 0380 by Chairman Slater. Do I have a motion? Have a motion and a second. Chairman Slater, do you have an amendment? Which one do you want to use?
Yeah, Amendment 4881 is the one we'll use.
Do I have a second? Does that rewrite the bill or add to it?
It does rewrite the bill.
Okay, members, we have a motion and a second on Amendment 004881. Let's add that to the bill. So all those in favor of adding Amendment number 004881 to House Bill HB 380, say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. No. Ayes have it. Chairman Slater, in the proper position, please present your bill to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Due to the unique needs of virtual schools, House Bill 380 establishes a process whereby LEAs can apply for a waiver related to the textbook and instructional materials used by virtual schools. This process sunsets in 2 years. The bill also requires the State Board of Education and the department to consider the unique needs of virtual schools and establish a permanent method of reviewing and approving textbooks and instructional materials commonly utilized in virtual schools. With that brief explanation, I stand ready for questions.
Members, you've heard an explanation of House Bill 380 as amended. Are any questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none. Any objection to calling the question? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, will you take the vote? Members, please vote. Madam Clerk, take the vote, please.
Mr. Chairman, you have 5 aye, 0 nay, and 1 present not voting.
House Bill 380 is receiving a majority of this committee. We'll move on to full education. We'll see you next week, Chairman Slater. Thank you. Members, next one. House Bill 825 by Representative Mayberry. Do I have a motion? I have a motion and a second. Are there any amendments on your bill?
There's not this week.
Member, Representative Mayberry, you're in the proper position. Go ahead and present your bill.
Yeah, this is the Teen Social Media and Internet Safety Act, HB 825. By the way, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill simply asks currently the Department of Education to create a social media and internet safety lessons and AI as well. This came as I've worked with students for decades now, and I run after school program, over 150 students in the program. Students, by and large, do not know safety measures within the internet, social media, and AI. Also, just what I've seen emerge online. Recently watched a video on AI where a student had a relationship with an AI bot and then ultimately committed suicide because the AI bot asked it to. There's so much harm out there, and this bill is going to address that to create lesson plans within the coordinated school health for grades 6 through 12 on the dangers of online behavior, and also to make it where you cannot access social media at school. I stand for questions.
Members, you heard an explanation. Chairman's prerogative. Representative Mayberry, can you talk about the parental opt-out provision in this bill?
Yes. So parents will opt out of this education if they decide they do not want to participate.
Thank you very much. Representative Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you. Do you know where in the curriculum they're going to put this, especially particular for high school? Is that something that is in this bill, or is that to be determined by the State Department?
Representative Mayberry?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The idea I have is within coordinated school health. So like during PE time where they are doing family life curriculum, they would also add this on as a day or two or however long it would take to teach it.
Representative Johnson, follow up, please.
And so again, my concern is going to be, when are we going to educate the teachers of what they've got to teach and adding that to the curriculum? And I think there's already 4 pieces of legislation in the works that are going to add to that same curriculum. I went back to see what the current standards are compared to what they will be if we pass all of this legislation, and we are going to triple the number of standards in that class without adding any time whatsoever. So how are we going to get this done as educators when we are tripling the number of standards but not changing the time constraints on this type of curriculum?
Representative Mayberry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the question. The bill states they would start in 26, 27, so they would have a year to have that time to coordinate that.
Representative Johnson?
And 26 is when all of the new things from like past this last session and this session would get added in, which would triple the number of standards and not change any of the time allotment for those classes. And that is my concern.
Any other questions for the bill sponsor? Upon seeing none, members, are we ready to vote? Without seeing an objection, Madam Clerk, will you take the vote? Madam Clerk, take the vote.
Mr. Chairman, you have 5 ayes, 0 nays, and 1 present not voting.
Thank you very much. House Bill 825, receiving a majority of members present. We'll move on to full education. We will see you next week. Members, I want to say thank you for serving in this capacity. We have reached our end of our calendar. It's been an honor and privilege to serve you, and hopefully you all learned something here this year about the education. Without objection, this meeting will be adjourned, subject to the call of the chair.